Hello, welcome everyone to another video. Some people have requested me to show how ExoPlayer can be run using Compose, Jetpack Compose. So let's start. Start Android Studio and we'll open a new project in Jetpack Compose. So if we use Jetpack Compose, then previous libraries will be already there, so we don't have to do much work. Let's name it Exo Compose, or you can name whatever you want. Then the Gradle will start. Now project will initialize for a moment. If you have seen the previous videos, to use the mediatory libraries of ExoPlayer, we need some libraries. So these are the libraries. I can put it on GitHub if you want. If you have watched the previous videos, you already know we need Android X mediatory ExoPlayer, mediatory ExoPlayer Dash, mediatory ExoPlayer HLS. Not most of them are necessary for all the projects, but I have just put it here to save time. So once the Gradle build is finished, initialized, the project will start. We go to build Gradle module app. So you just go here and we'll go to the dependencies. We'll add the ExoPlayer dependencies. I also have HTTP dependency. This is needed sometimes if we want to connect to internet or get some information from the internet. But for this, most important is this ExoPlayer. And sometimes we forget to define connection to the internet on the manifest, so I'll just make it quick here. So uses permission, and if you write internet, so internet permission is very much important. So I also have just all this permission necessary. Sometimes it depends on modifying the project, so we might need to access to storage. So I have just put it all together here. Depends on your project. So most important is internet, because without internet you cannot use online videos play on ExoPlayer. So now let's go to main activity. So what's different between Compose and the previous layout models is that we do the layouts definitions inside the code, so we don't need XMLs anymore. But we still have this color, div, and things like typography. Those are or like string that we used in previous layouts, XML layouts. So for starters, it may be very confusing. Let's make it very simple. So everything from previous Kotlin layouts, same, like when you use XML, you set content r.id, you set the layout. So this is the most important part where we define the layout. So instead of calling the layout from the XML, we actually define it here. Surface is actually just defining the surface. So when we have initialized the project, this is already the initial theme. What we see here is Okay, let's see the view. Okay, so after we have added those kotlin media tree libraries in the dependencies, we have to sync. I'll sync the Gradle, and so it's ready in our codes. Okay, so let's go to the code. See, in the initial view of the compose, it's already there. There is the main activity, and there is these two things here: composable, two composables. So composables are functions, which we can call into the main activity. So you see the function greeting here. This is the function here called. So depending on what it will give outcome, it's defined inside the method. So because this is just the initial hello world compose that is predefined, the default view. Let's see if we can see it. Let's see. So I'm just building, showing the previous preview, the compose that's already rebuilt in Android Studio. So see, that's the thing. Inside the set content in the main activity, we call the function or compose. That's the composable here. So the composable greeting is called here, and the outcome of the greeting is shown here. So there is already Android, and inside the function it gives outcome of hello, because the text is defined hello. So we can actually delete it and make our new composable for the ExoPlayer. And the preview here is we can also delete it. It's just because we don't have XML layout to preview how we are designing the layout. So the preview composable actually can initially show you the preview of layout. So because we're just building an ExoPlayer just to play the videos, and we are not adding too much on the layout for now, I would make it simple. So I'll just delete the preview composable. So there is no preview in the composable now. Now we have only one composable. We will also delete this. We'll make our own composable. So see, now everything is very simple. Like the onCreate method is there, and we don't change anything. The default theme is there, and this is the function that was called. So because we will define our own function, I will just leave it for now. Let's define the composable. So composable, and we'll define function. Function, we can call it video player, and okay, so inside the video player we are actually defining modifier. So this is the new thing in compose. Everything is defined with a modifier parameter. So because we are not using any more XML, and I'll just call it modifier. So we are just not changing anything. The default player view, we just use the modifier parameter just to define that whatever is in the video player will be called into the layout. Now if you have seen my previous videos, the other things remain almost the same. So first so very important is you have to actually sync the Gradle, and these libraries should be present inside the dependencies. Otherwise, this won't work. So let's define the ExoPlayer. So now we have ExoPlayer, and we define the view, player view is player view, and we make a new variable called context. So if you have seen the previous videos, when we are building ExoPlayer, we called this context, but now in composable we actually define using the local context current. So instead of writing it again and again, we just make it simple new variable called context, so it can be shortened, local context dot current. Okay, so now the variables are defined. If you know how to make the ExoPlayer, the first thing is we have to build the ExoPlayer. You'll get confused if you see or search on Google how this works. The new media tree library is what we use now currently, and this is the process. You have to define ExoPlayer dot builder and context. So we use this context in previous builds, but now in composable we have to use local context current because we have already defined a variable, so we can just use context, this new variable here, or you can just copy this whole thing, local context current, inside these brackets, and then build. So now we have built the ExoPlayer. Here, interesting thing is in composable we don't have to call the player view again and again. Once we have built the ExoPlayer, it's done. So now we have to do the media item. Media item is like which items we need to play inside the media player. So media item equals, we make new variable media item, media item. So we are not using a playlist now. We are just using an URI, just a single URL for a video. So I have here, you can find any MP4 or anything. I already have a link here where I have a M3U8. So the thing is, by default, the common video formats will be played by ExoPlayer. So you don't have to worry if you are taking a link from a website like MP4 or whatever. Could be very common formats of videos. So I'm just using this link. So now we have created the media item, and let's now call this media inside the ExoPlayer. So ExoPlayer have built the media, we have built the media item or the media source, and then we set the media item in our ExoPlayer. Set the media item, and what now? We can call ExoPlayer to prepare the player. Prepare ExoPlayer. And now play or just play when ready. Done. Now, now we want to actually define how it would show up on the layout. So there is some new options in Compose, and that's called box or card, column, rows. I'm not taking composable tutorial here, so I'll just make it short. So I'm using here box, and always we have to use modifier most of the time because that defines the layout. Modifier. So we tell the layout to be in a box format. Modifier equals modifier. Yeah. So now inside this box, we'll place. Okay, so Alt Enter to add the imports. If there is something red, always use Alt Enter to import all this. So disposable effect. Disposable effect is like on destroy method. So disposable effect is like on destroy method. If you know from previous layouts, unit and effect. So we are telling what it will do. Disposable effect key. Yeah. Dispose. On dispose. What it will do, it will release ExoPlayer. ExoPlayer will be released. So it's like on destroy method we used before. And then we define the Android view. Android view. Here we define how the Android view would look like. So here we define the player view and context. So see, the thing is we have to use local context, but I have defined context already before as a variable, so we don't have to write it again and again. Apply and player equals ExoPlayer. Layout parameters. So the thing is, we are not using XML, so you have to define the layout parameters. Frame layout equals layout parameters. This is how we just. So like in XML, we are defining inside the Kotlin code how the layout should look like. So inside the player view, we are making it in the frame layout. We are defining the view group, layout parameters dot match parent. So like XML before, we are defining here view group dot layout parameters, match parameter. So that's all done. Okay, I'll see if there is some error. No error so far. Okay. So the thing is, that's our composable. I will use code folding. So this is the composable. Whatever we wrote, all these functions to play the video inside the video player, that's the function, the composable function, and we have this name, video player. What we do is inside set content, don't worry about this XCompose theme. This is like depending on the app's name. I named this ExoCompose, so it's ExoCompose theme. It's automatically generated. You can change it, of course, but for the basics, you don't have to do anything here. So now we have this function here, the composable, and we call this function here again. So the function is video player, right? Video player, done. Now let's see how this app works. Let's build. So we have built. Now I'll see if it works. Yeah, so see, that's the link I used for this video. This link, and you can see here it works. So that's how we make the ExoPlayer in Compose. So let's review the code again. So we have this set content here, and inside the set content we call the composable function, and inside the composable function we make an ExoPlayer variable, player view variable, and local context.current as context variable. You can also skip it and just directly call this, but this is simpler. So then we build the ExoPlayer, then we make the media item browser. We can use any MP4 or M2U link, and then we call the media item inside the ExoPlayer. We prepare the player and we play. And we define the preview layout here inside the box modifier. You can use different web options here. But this is just a simple way. Inside the box modifier, it's like on destroy method, so that we can actually stop and play and release the player. So I'll upload the code, and thank you for watching.